In the midst of the 16th century, Tsar Ivan IV, known as Ivan the Terrible, established a force that would become emblematic of terror and repression in Russian history, the Opritchniki. This decision was driven by Ivan's desire to consolidate power and eliminate any opposition to his rule. The Opritchniki were essentially a select group of loyalists drawn from various strata of society, including the nobility, commoners, and even criminals, who were given extraordinary powers and privileges in exchange for their unswerving loyalty to the Tsar. The formation of the Opritchniki in 1565 marked a turning point in Ivan's reign, leading to a period known as the Opritchnina. During this time, Ivan effectively split his realm into two parts: the Opritchnina, territories under his direct control and policed by the Opritchniki, and the Zemshchina, the remaining lands of the Russian state. This division allowed Ivan to wield unchecked power in his domains, using the Opritchniki as his instrument of terror to suppress any form of dissent or resistance. The crimes attributed to the Opritchniki are numerous and varied, ranging from mass executions, torture, and confiscation of property to the displacement of populations. They were infamous for their cruelty and the sheer arbitrariness of their violence. Punishments meted out by the Opritchniki were designed to instill fear and compliance. They employed a range of execution and torture methods, including impalement, burning, and the use of the knout, a type of whip that could flay the skin off a person's back. Public executions were not uncommon, serving both as punishment and as a stark warning to others. The local population viewed the Opritchniki with a mixture of fear, hatred, and revulsion. Their presence was synonymous with death and destruction, and they could strike anywhere, at any time, often without warning or clear justification. The Opritchniki were also known for their distinctive attire, which included black garb and a broom and dog's head symbol on their saddles, symbolizing their role in sweeping away the Tsar's enemies and their loyalty to him. The downfall of the Opritchniki came as their brutality increasingly destabilized the very fabric of Russian society, undermining the economy and provoking widespread outrage, even among Ivan's own supporters. Their campaign of terror culminated in the massacre of Novgorod in 1570, a particularly egregious episode of violence against a city that was suspected of disloyalty. The backlash from this event, coupled with the Opritchniki's failure to protect Russia from external threats and their involvement in palace intrigues, led Ivan to disband the Opritchniki in 1572. The legacy of the Opritchniki is a dark chapter in Russian history, but it also set a precedent for the role of secret police in the governance of the state. The connection between the Opritchniki and later organizations such as the KGB is more thematic than direct, revolving around the use of surveillance, fear, and state-sanctioned violence to maintain control over the population and protect the interests of the ruling regime. While the methods and ideologies of the KGB were undoubtedly more sophisticated and influenced by the political context of the 20th century, the fundamental principle of employing a loyal and ruthless security force to suppress dissent echoes the practices initiated by the Opritchniki under Ivan the Terrible.